Welcome back to Weather for Weather Geeks, everyone. Here, the Thursday evening edition, the 18th day of January 2018. And while we're in the middle of a quieter pattern, there's no shortage of things to talk about and geek out about and show you this evening. So let's start a little bit farther away from home today. I wanted to show you this high-res satellite loop from the Deep South today. Of course, they just were dealing with a fair amount of snow down in parts of the Deep South 24 to 36 hours ago. And this is a 6-hour loop. And notice a couple of areas of snow shrinkage, if you will, here across parts of Alabama and Georgia. And also watch the snow start to shrink up towards Charlotte, Raleigh, and Norfolk today. Still a fair amount of snow on the ground, but the area does decrease due to the warmer temperatures. And, you know, the sun's a little stronger, a little higher in the sky down in the Deep South as compared to here at home. Speaking of here at home, let's, take a look at Lake Erie today. Same time frame, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. roughly. Clouds are pushing away, but what you're left with is just the ice on Lake Erie. And it's interesting to see the ice drifting across central and eastern parts of Lake Erie today. This is more solid ice on the western end. Notice it's not moving much, but the ice is not super crazy thick in the central and eastern areas. And so it tends to move around with a little more freedom today, although technically about 91% of the lake covered by ice, probably reaching its maxima for the year right now. All right, the sun angle is important as we head especially into the latter half of winter. You know, we had a sunny day today, we had a breezy day, usually sunshine and a gusty breeze, a couple of things that can help to melt snow, depending on the temperature, of course. But in January, the sun's still pretty weak. You know, we're still in the dead of winter, really. And the sun angle only is about 28 degrees above the horizon at its highest point. And so, while there was some melting today, there wasn't a lot. Now, if we had this same day 2 months from now, even if it were just in the 20s like today, there'd be a lot more snow melt because the sun is almost twice as strong or twice as high in the sky as it is right now around mid-March. So, say we had today's weather 2 months from now, it was a high of 26 today. If we had that in mid-March on a sunny day with a gusty breeze, a lot of the snow sitting on the ground would indeed melt. All right, speaking of sunshine, let's take a look at a time-lapse video of this afternoon's western sky over Youngstown. We'll see a nice sunset here. We had a nice crescent moon for a while this evening. That is set for the evening, but that was a nice looking day today. You know, again, it was pretty cold outside, colder than average, but better than the last handful of days. Wasn't in the teens today. We did sneak into the 20s this afternoon. So good looking sunset today. And yeah, warmer air is on the move. At 7 o'clock this evening, 14 degrees warmer than this same time yesterday in Youngstown. And notice hardly any cooler temperatures compared to 24 hours ago across the lower 48 states. Pretty much just bottled up in parts of the Pacific Northwest. All right, not much to show you on the model here over the next few days. We're looking at another sunny day coming up for your Friday. We'll sneak above freezing for the first time since right before we had the ice and snow a week ago tomorrow. So it's been about a week since we've eclipsed 32. Sunshine tomorrow, sunshine for, at least the first half of the day. On Saturday. I think clouds will start to roll in as we go through Saturday afternoon and evening, and eventually just kind of a slate gray overcast, I think, for Sunday. Not a very good-looking day Sunday. I don't think it rains much, but it can try to drizzle and, you know, bits of rain here and there on Sunday, but temperatures should still make it up to about 40 degrees Sunday afternoon. Apologies for the little tickle in my throat this evening. Hopefully I'm not coming down with something. You know, it's that time of the year. Everybody has something, it seems like. I wanted to talk about the longer range. On Mondays and Thursdays, we get fresh data from the European modeling, the long-range modeling. And overall, the ideas have not changed here in the longer range. Still a milder than average pattern likely for the last 10 days of January and the first full week of February. This right here is the first week of February, and notice the cold air is bottled up in western and central Canada, down into parts of the northern Rockies and east of the Mississippi. By early February standards anyway, it should be fairly mild. Now, when will the pattern change again? I do think it's as we head towards mid-February, and the modeling's been pretty consistent on this, showing winter trying to come back as we go into middle and latter portions of February. You know, the European modeling here has a kind of a warm bias as we go out 3, 4, 5 weeks. And so anytime you see this much blue on the map, that means it's probably seeing a pretty cold pattern. Because sometimes if it's just seeing sort of cold, it'll show up as normal. But when it's showing this much blue, this much below average or below normal, it means the model's probably strongly suggesting a pretty darn cold pattern as we go into the second half of February. But from now until maybe the first week to 10 days of February, I don't think we're in the deep freeze very much at all. Now, occasionally I do think it snows. In fact, real quick, let's take a look at the same set of modeling as far as precipitation anomalies for the next month, showing a pretty active storm track from the Gulf of Mexico up through the Midwest. Now, this could be some rain events for us, maybe some mixed precipitation, maybe occasionally some snow, but I don't think this is a real snowy pattern for the next couple of weeks. Precipitation, you bet, but for the next few weeks, perhaps a month, not an especially snowy pattern, not the kind of pattern we've been in over the last few weeks as we opened 2018. Thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock. And be sure and check out the Friday evening edition of this same video. We'll have all sorts of fresh, geeky fun for you on a Friday evening tomorrow on the 19th day of January.